Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is another legendary episode of the BeBall Jones podcast, which is, of course, obviously your number one, the best and go-to basketball podcast for you and everybody else that loves basketball, because that's what we talk about here, basketball. And the man that I had to have talking about basketball with is none other than the defensive player of the year in the Peach Belt Conference, Nelson Haskins. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. We had a good laugh, nice conversation for this recording started. So I'm in a good mood, man. What about you?
Man, same. But y'all might see me like jump a little bit. I kind of got the hiccups or something, man. But we trying to get this content out for y'all, so we're gonna push through. Hopefully, it stop. But if y'all see me like jerk or like hear me stop talking in the middle of a sentence or something, look kind of like that. I just that's all it is. But we're gonna push through it, man.
Yeah, we are a very professional and outstanding podcast and commentators on this game. So we're gonna make it do what happen. It's gonna be great content regardless, because that's what we do. You feel me? So you can expect anything less than the best from the BeBall Jones podcast. So, but speaking of you being a defensive player of the year in the Peach Belt, I want to talk to you about the different levels of basketball. It's kind of piggybacking off the I think it was like episode 6 or 8, one of them two. We talked about the levels of college basketball. We broke down the difference between excuse me, I just burped like you, man. But D1, D2, and D3 and JUCO basketball. Breaking down different levels of that when it comes to the college game. But now we're going to take a step out and expand out a little bit more and talk about the levels of basketball when it comes between high school, college, and pro ball, man. So starting off with this, man, in your eyes, what are like the key things that separate, high school, college, and pro guys? Like, what is it? Well, let me say it like this. What's the key thing from high school to college that separate guys? And what's the key thing that like limits players? Like, you might be a good high school player, but what limits them from going and taking that next step to college basketball?
Oof, that's not as simple of a question as you might think.
Of course not. Like, let's try to keep it on the court, because of course you can go a lot of off court factors. But let's keep it like skill stuff and like actual basketball talk, because we could go. This would be a 3-hour episode. You talk about all the stuff around that. So just try to keep it on the court for the like 90% of it.
That's cool. I got you. So if we talking strictly basketball wise, I would think the number one thing guys look for, coaches and scouts look for in a high school guy, is the ability to play a role first off, and then if your game translates to the college level. And so what I mean by translate to the college level is when you play college basketball, there's everything is like times 5. The speed of the game is high. The 3-point line is farther. The court is bigger. Like everything, even small things you would think would be small differences are big changes in the flow of the game. And that's not to say, if you're a good high school player, you're going to be a good college player, obviously, because we see that all the time. But I think a lot of times guys don't realize your game might work for where you are and what you're doing right now, but it won't always translate to the college level. Dang.
You good.
But it won't always translate to the college level. So, like, and this is funny. I saw a post yesterday or day before yesterday that was like, "Dear 6'2" basketball power forward." It was like, "Dear 6'2" high school basketball power forward. Go talk to your football coach first thing in the morning." That I seen that the other day, and I shared it. I said, I ain't gonna lie, I hate to be this guy. I said I somewhat hate to say this, but that's facts.
Yeah.
If you 6'2" playing power forward, you might be good. You might be averaging. I've seen it. You might be like 6'2", 6'3", playing power forward at a smaller high school, and you probably averaging a double a game, all pure hustle and like dog energy, getting trash buckets and hustle points. And that's great for your school and your team. That's great if you're doing that. But I can guarantee you're not doing that in college because you're not going to be 6'2" playing power forward. You're not. It's just facts. But that happens. High schools don't have height. They put the tallest person they got at the 4 and the 5. So you end up playing the wrong position, or a position that you would never play on another level. So then college coaches look at you, and yeah, you might be playing well, but your game is not going to translate because you're not going to play that position. You're not going to do those same things. You're not going to play the same way. So that's the number one thing that guys look for when they are recruiting or out looking at high school guys. Can this guy's game translate to the eye level, whatever level that school may be? So I played with some guys in high school that had talent, obviously. Had enough. I feel like they had the talent to probably play on a college team. And some colleges were looking at them, but none of them really pulled the trigger. Why? Because what they were doing at our school in little old Demopolis, they weren't getting off. Like, you had to be, and so some guys not gonna like when I say this, but it's kind of factual. I'm not kind of, but factual. In rural places like where I was in Demopolis and other places like that in that surrounding area, a lot of times you're not playing the best competition, but we don't realize we're in the middle of it because this is all we know. So we don't realize that the guys we playing with and against are not the best of the best. So that's why it's imperative for guys like that to play AAU or for your high school coach to make sure you get good games. Like, you might have to travel a good bit, but you need to play some good teams to know what good teams are like. So, but when you're playing against teams that are not considered the best and not killing them, now it's like, oh, if he's not really getting off against them, there's no way he'll come to the college level and be a good player. That's kind of how they look at it. So those are just two things. Like, does your game translate? And are you playing against good competition? And what are you doing against good competition? You know, because if you play, like, I just seen plenty of guys get scholarships off one good game. And I just seen guys miss out on an opportunity to play for teams because of one bad game. So what are you doing against the competition that matters? And does your game translate to what a college team would be asking you to do? So those are the number one things to look at as far as going from high school to college. And then, but as a high school guy, a lot of times we don't know what that really means. So we never look at ourselves and be like, what would a college team ask of me? Or what would they want us to do? Because in our mind, we think the way we play now in high school, that's how we're going to play in college.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 6'2", power forward in high school. I mean, if you're aware of basketball, you probably know that's not the case. But, like, when I was in high school, I was 6'6", 6'5", 6'6", and I was playing the 5. I thought I was probably going to be a power forward when I got to college. Then I got to JUCO, I was still the 5 because I was the second tallest person. The guy ahead of me was 6'7". I was still 6'6". And so me and him was at the 5. Like, we came in for each other at the 5. Then my sophomore year, my coach was telling me, hey, I'm going to try to get us some more bigs so you can move to the 4. And he did, but some of them end up going, things just ain't work out, whatever. And I was still playing the 5 for the most part, which was fine. Nothing I ain't used to. Then I come here, I'm thinking when I get ready to go to a 4-year school, I'm like, oh, I'm definitely going to play the 4 now. No way I'm going to play the 5 at a 4-year school. I'm still 6'7". Bigs, he's probably 6'9", 6'10". I get here, we got one guy 6'9", and me and Hunt 6'7". So all three of us play the 5. The guy that was 6'9" played the 5 full time. I played the 5 full time, and Hunt played 4 and 5. So we as players never really know what is going to be asked of us. We kind of have our own assumption. It's on, like, coaches to be like, hey, if you want to play college basketball, you better get good at this. So, and you're a trainer that's part on you too. You're partially your job. If you can look at a guy and be like, you have an eye for talent to know if a guy can go somewhere with basketball and do things. And so that's partially on you for the guys that you train to be like, hey man, if you want to play college basketball, if you serious about this, you need to get good at this. And that's what we working on. And so luckily I had coaches that had that energy for me. They was like, hey man, you say you want to play college basketball, this is what it is. And I was like, okay. Like, that's what it takes. That's what we're gonna do. And then I got good at those things. So those are the main things to look at when you're talking about being a good college player.
So what were those things for you, like that the coaches told you to be like, hey, if you want to get good at, get ready for college ball, what were those things that you had to get ready? Because I'm pretty sure there's, a lot of guys who are very similar to you, who's a 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", power forward center in high school, and they're like, man, I want to be, playing college ball. So what were those things that coaches told you?
Well, me personally, I always knew I was a defensive guy. I was blocking shots a lot, hustling, getting rebounds, scoring in the paint. And I was athletic and fast. So my coach was telling me, my high school coach was like, I'll never forget. So I had very little offensive ability. I've always been behind offensively. Like high school, didn't really have much scoring ability. JUCO started gaining some. Then I got here, realized I still ain't have a whole lot for this level. I'm just not getting to the point where I can really score the ball consistently. So my senior year, we had a new coach come in named Coach Womack. This is his first year here, my senior year. And he asked me, he told me, he's like, you're gonna score the ball this year. Like, you're gonna get the ball more. And I was like, okay, bet. Like, let's do it. Like, that sound good to me. So then one day in practice, set a screen on my point guard. They switch. I walk down to the paint. They throw it to me. I catch it. I see somebody kind of dig in to help. I kicked it out to what I felt like was an open three. And coach said, blew the whistle. Stop. Turnover. You got a little man on you in the paint, and you won't score the ball. Turnover. Give the other team the ball. I was like what? Like nothing happened. Like he was like, when they switch that screen, you score the ball. Post up and put him in the reel, score the ball. Oh, I don't care what happened. Who come to help? Score the ball. And now I done got mad because you yelling at me. Like, because I'm like, bro, I feel like I ain't do nothing wrong. But I ain't realized, like, if I was going to ever be a good player, if I can't score in the paint on a point guard, I'm not going to be one. I'll never be who I want to be if I can't score the ball on a point guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's what he was trying to get me to realize. And then after practice is over with, I'm still kind of upset about it. My coach was like, he came to me like, feeling on some real stuff. He said, hey, you say this, you said this what you want. So now, you gonna score the ball. Do what you want. You gonna get it. You gonna score the ball. You mad at me. You mad at me because I'm trying to give you what you want. You say you want to score the ball, you want the ball more. We're going to do it. And this is how it's going to happen. So you better get used to it. And I was like, okay. Like, that's what it is then. So that's when I realized, okay, if I want to be a good player or if I want to be a college player, I need some offensive ability. I need to be able to score the ball when I get in these positions. So I started working on my post moves and stuff more. Got me a little jump hook here and there. You know what I'm saying? And then I still ran, hustle, played D like I've always been doing. And so then next thing you knew, we go to a school, play Selma High School. I go down there. I had 2012 and 10 and walk out with 2 scholarships from 2 junior colleges, one of them being the Bevel State Community College, where I ended up attending for 2 years and becoming a first team all conference guy. So it all fell into place. I just couldn't see it at the time. But like I said, a lot of times we as high school guys, we don't really know. All we know is what we know, basically. So If nobody's there to be like, hey man, if you want to be good, you need to work on this jumper. You need to work on these posters. You need to work on your post move. You better get good at catch and shoot situations. Guys very, very rarely tell us that unless you just a bona fide whatever star of your school. Now, if you that, they'll tell you everything. Oh man, you gonna go to school? Hey, if you work on your handles, you going D1. Or hey man, if you get a 3-point shot, you gonna get a scholarship. They tell the superstar. They don't really tell the guys that's like, hey, you a good player. You'll be a better player if you learn this.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really tell that guy. And we need coaches to be on them about that. Like, tell players what it would take for them to get to college. And if they ain't got it, they ain't got it. But tell them,
Yeah.
Hey, if you get better at this, colleges want guys who can do this. Colleges look at guys who can do this. People your size need to be able to do this. Because that's just what it is. It's a criteria. So, offense as a whole really was my thing. Ball handler, shooting, post moves, like anything. Offense as a whole had to be better because my defense was there. I'm athletic. I'm running. I'm kind of fast for my size. I had all that, but I had no offensive ability. So that was my thing. And everybody's different, but learn what yours is. Ask your coach. If you're a player, listen, just ask your coach. Be like, hey, coach, what I got to do or what I got to get better at to try to go to college? And if he can't give you the answer, then you need to play for a different school.
Yeah. Just from my trainer perspective, I'll jump in a little bit on this one. Kind of piggybacking off of what you said, like, yes, work on your things, but you didn't jump from, like you said, you had to develop your offense. Like you identified who you were and where you are. Like you knew your role. Like we talked about before, know your role on your team. Like everybody has a role. The star player still has a role. So know your role on the team. And then from there, identify a weakness that you need to work on. And you didn't say, okay, offense is my weakness. So I work on ball handling, shooting, post up, mid post, footwork. You didn't work on all that in one summer. You just like, okay, I'm throwing everything in the bucket and just go at it. Now you
Right.
piece by piece. So take a summer to work on one or two things. I'm not saying you don't develop all the other stuff, but walk away from each summer knowing you guarantee that you got better at this thing and maybe this thing too. So for you, it might have been like, all right, let me just get better with my footwork and my ball handling. Let me get better with my mid post and my low post. Let me get better with catch and shoot threes and, dealing with this situation, pick and roll finishing. Like whatever it was, you really got more specific and detailed with the idea of what you need to work on. So identify, like talk to a trainer or a coach, whatever, and be like, okay, hey, what do I need to work on to get better and be able to play college ball? And then from there, you put a little input, put a little, basketball IQ in there and take a little initiative and be like, okay, what can I do personally to develop and work on my game? So you watch a little film, players that play like you do and around your same height and skill set, also like you're an athletic, 6'5", 6'6" big. Okay, look at college bigs that are doing what you do. Okay, yeah, he's 6'5", 6'6", but he really play like a one. Not watching you. Oh, you're athletic big that runs the floor, defensive guy. Okay, boom, I'm watching you, seeing what you do. So then from there, you start to make more educated guesses about what you can develop and work on. So that's my little 2 cents on this, man. Just be a little bit more aware of where you are, who you are, and detail and elaborate about the next step to get to where you want to get to overall. And don't just be trying to eat the elephant in one bite. Just be patient and take a bite by bite, and then next thing you know, you got a whole offensive bag now, as we can see from defensive player of the Peach Belt. So,
if anybody can tell you, it's really me. Like, bro, guys do not be knowing. Like, somewhat because you've seen. Because, like, I remember a guy that I didn't kind of grew up with named Kobe. Played with him in high school, everything. Shout out to him. Kobe shared one of my like highlights from this season, and he was like, "Man, it's crazy how like he was like, it's crazy that this is Nels." I think that's exactly what he said. Like, it's crazy that this is Nels. Like, and I comment on it like people really don't know that it is crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, I have not always been the guy, and I say that multiple times because I want people to know that. Because if you're not the guy right now, don't think that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? I have not always been the guy. but I've always been a worker. I've always put my work in, and I'm a firm believer that if you love something, if you love the game, it'll love you back. You put your time and your work in, it's gonna come back to you. The work gonna always pay off. That's how I feel. That's how I see it. And I didn't always. I am an example of that because I didn't put the work in. Like guys remember when I couldn't dribble. Guys remember when I couldn't shoot. Guys remember when I couldn't really create nothing offensively. I was just tall, strong, athletic, ran the flow. And now it's like guys see me on highlights and I'm like moving or something. Now they're like, yo, that's Nelson. Like guys see me step through the lane, Euro step somebody in the left hand or something. They'd be like, it's like that's Nelson. Like this is Nelson.
Yeah.
Because they remember it has not always been like this, but I did what it took to get here. Like I did what it took to make it to the next level and then the next level because there's always been another level for me.
Yeah.
I've never been able to be complacent at all in my career. Like I was 9th grade, I was in JV. 10th grade, I was varsity coming off the bench. 11th grade, I was starting. 12th grade, I had to do something for real. Like this is my last year. I gotta make sure I go to college. I ain't got no offers. I ain't got no looks. So now I gotta make sure I'm getting somewhere. Then I go JUCO. I'm in JUCO for 2 years. Gotta gotta be able to hoop. So I go somewhere else. Played them 2 years. Now I'm at a 4-year school. Come to this 4-year school. I'm coming off the bench. Then halfway through the year, I'm starting, but I'm still splitting minutes. Then the guy that I was splitting the minutes when he gone, I'm the only 5 man. Now I'm the only 5 man. It's like, hey, now I gotta hoop. I ain't got no choice but to hoop. There's always been another level. And luckily, and I thank God for it. And I'm glad I've been put in a position to put the work in. But I've always met the standard at which I had to, it was expected to get to. I haven't always been like exactly what I needed to be or as good as I need to be, but I've always met the standard. Like I got to JUCO, I was starting, I was a solid B. Like I wasn't as good as I needed to be, but I was solid. My sophomore year, I was first team out of conference. Then I come here, I'm coming off the bench, and then they realize, all right, we need more defense. They start starting me. So then, but they always taking me out for offensive reasons because we ain't scoring the ball. Mm. Now it's like, okay, next year I'm going to be able to score. Then I come in next year, I average 10. I go from averaging 4 to averaging 10. Shouts out to my guy Carl, who's been training me and stuff like that up here. He's my assistant coach up here. He's been training me since the summertime, and my stats took a big jump. And so now it's like we ain't got to take Nelson out for offense. Like he's helping the offense, and he's guarding. He's playing defense. Hey, still. And then like the defense got me the defensive player of the year, but if we don't win games, ain't no awards. They don't give awards out to losers. Hate to tell you. Mm-hmm. You could lead the league in anything. You could average 25 a game. And if your team ain't top 5, top 4, you won't be getting no players of the year. I can promise you. You're going to be all conference. But you're going to be all conference because you averaging that much. But player of the year got to be top 3. Defensive player of the year got to be top 4, top 5. Like, we're not giving that out to losers. Yeah. How they see it. So that's how it is, man. I've always been able to reach the next level. And it is levels to it.
So when you were in high school and you were focusing on getting to college, how tough of a balance was it to play your role of what you were in high school, but still, like you had one eye on what you're doing right now at your high school to try to win and everything, but then you also had one eye being like, I want to get the college ball too, so I have to develop and work and show these things too. So how did you balance that? Because I know high school coaches and whatever coach level you at, you always want your players to be like, no, you focus and you directly, pay attention to what we're doing right now. If you can't win today, we ain't worried about tomorrow. And that's cool to say, but in all honesty, most players aren't able to be like zeroed in, Kobe focus of like, this is what we're doing right now. 9 times out of 10, you're going to peek up a little bit and be like, man, what college basketball at? That's still kind of far away. You feel me? So it's like,
that's accurate.
You know what I mean? Like all the players aren't able to be like, okay, I'm in high school ball. I'm here right now. We're trying to win state this year. We're trying to win regionals. We're trying to win whatever. Like, so how did you balance like being who you were for your team to still win, but still figuring out how to grow and develop to get to college ball?
Well, luckily, I am a guy that focuses on winning first. So I'm a win first kind of guy, even if that means I'm not getting stats and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm okay with that. Will it kind of hurt my pride? Yeah, because obviously everybody want to score, everybody want to get their numbers. But if we win it, hey, it is what it is. Like that, I don't need to do those things if we win. So it was not it's bad. But my senior year, I'm definitely thinking about my future every day, as a lot of guys do. Like I'm looking at my future, like man, I don't have no offers. I ain't really talking to no schools. Like, am I good? Like, am I good enough to play somewhere? Like, I feel like I'm doing like what I got to do, and that's kind of a hard feeling because it's like, man, I feel like I'm doing everything right. I got good grades. I'm hooping. I'm working. I'm trying to get better. I have some good games. Like, I know I ain't just going crazy, but I have some good games. I do everything my coach asked me to do, and ain't nobody calling my phone, and that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like I said, I'm a firm believer in the work gonna always show. Sometimes you just gotta be patient. I tell a friend of mine up here all the time, this game a marathon. It ain't a sprint for nobody. Like, and everybody running their own race. So, like I have a homeboy up here. He look at me like, man, I want to be like one of y'all. Like,
Mm-hmm.
y'all hooping, you doing this, you doing that. Like, people know you. Like, I want to be like that. Like, and he work hard, and I tell him like, man, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You seeing what I am now. All you see is the end result. This ain't even the end, but the current result. And you think I want that. This ain't always what it's been.
Mm-hmm.
And like as I just explained, it's not always been this way. And so you gotta take that on the chin sometimes, like, hey, it's not my time yet. But if I keep working and putting the time and effort in and doing things the right way, it will be my time soon or one day. And so just have faith in that. And like put the work in, ask your coach, like I said, ask your coach what you gotta do or what you gotta be better at, and look yourself in the mirror and think about it, like, am I doing the things that I need to be to get to where I want to go? And if not, work on it more. If you are, then hey, just keep at it, man. Keep pushing. You feel me? It's gonna be there. And sometimes people need help along the way to get to where they're trying to go. But just have faith in that. Have faith in the work that you put in and your preparation, and it'll be there.
So, I know it's gonna be work for players to get from high school to college, but um, I know this won't fit all the way across the board, but from your perspective, what are like the easiest transitions from for you personally and like more general overall, like what were the easiest transitions from high school to college? Because a lot of people try to make it seem like it's just it's so daunting and grueling to play college basketball, but everybody there to tell the full truth, everything wasn't as hard. Like, oh, this is easier than what I thought it was. So like, dang, this is kind of easier. I thought college basketball would have been harder in this area. So like, what was it for you that I was just like, oh, I can do this at this level. It's nothing for me. So what in your eyes, like for you specifically, what was that thing that I was like, this translated easy? And what do you think the one thing overall that translates easy for most guys that you've talked to and for what you've seen?
Uh, Shoot, I'm sorry. Um, One thing that did translate over from high school to JUCO was that uh, was number one, running. You'll be surprised, but running consistently will like make the game somewhat easier for you. You'll get some easy buckets out of it. I used to run. My coach used to drill it into my head. If you don't get this board, you better be the first one down the floor. If you don't get the board, be the first one down the floor. And I'm the five. So now it's like, okay, but I gotta get the board. If you don't get the board, run, sprint, right down the middle of the floor, go. And I was like, okay. And then there was times where I didn't get the board, and I'm like, I kind of, you know how sometimes somebody get the ball, you kind of hang back for a second to make sure they secure it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I do that. He'd be like, run! Like he'll yell at me specifically, Nelly, run! I'll be like, so that was something I learned. Like it'll help. Like you'll get buckets out of it. Like it's plays of me and JUCO. I ain't get the board, and you see me shoot down the floor, and then they'll throw that thing, and I catch it layup. Like, or I'll sprint down the floor, and then a guard ended up picking me up because another thing I learned, like in the at the next level that I had never thought about, when somebody shoot, who's normally the first one to get back on defense?
Guard.
The guard. So if I'm the first one down the floor, guess who picking me up?
Mm-hmm.
The guard.
Yeah.
So now I'm running. The guard pick me up. Guess what I do? We going straight to this block. Turn around. Hey, ball. I got a little dude on me. And I'm finna score on him. Cause my high school coach told me if I kick it out, that's a turnover. So it got me easy buckets just sprinting and being tough about things. And so that was probably number one. Number two would probably say defense translated easier for me. Because like I said, I've always been a defensive guy. I've always been athletic and like had a mind for defense. Defense translated for me easy. And another thing that made it so easy for me for it to translate is because I went from just playing to having film and preparation and scout notes in college. High school, we didn't have none of that. We didn't have no film on guys, unless we already played them before and recorded the game. We had no film on guys, had no scouting report. It was just like whatever you knew about him, that's what you knew. And then the next year, then you go into the game kind of blind when you go play somebody you ain't never played before.
Mm-hmm.
College, you're never blind. You go into the game, you got some kind of film, and you got some scouts. You got a scout report, and your guy will be on there. They'll say, well, is he right-handed, left-handed? What move he like? What do he like to be on the floor? What is he good at? And so with that, I was like, oh, ain't nobody finna score on me. Like that's how I was feeling. I was like, ain't nobody finna score on me. You giving me the blueprint to how to stop this guy. Like, how can I let him kill me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just being real. Unless he just super talented. You know, sometimes a great offense beat great defense. But no way somebody finna kill me and I got the scout. Like, nothing. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Defense translated for me. Now, I ain't gonna act like I ain't never been scored on, clearly. Guys done got the better of me a couple times before. But I know how to stop most guys. I go, especially when I got film and I can look at a guy. Film, you gotta see me in film. I'm in film like this. Like I'm like locked in. And especially here at CSU, we go down the line of guys, they'll show clips of every guy on the team. Like just that guy's clips. Like this is what he does. This is what he's been doing. He gets the ball right here. He does this, and this. This is what move he like. They showing all types of clips. And you can tell what a guy go-to move is from the clips because you watching clips of just him and how he even scored and things like that. And you see the same move multiple times. And it's like, oh, okay, he like this move. Oh, okay, he get the ball right there. He going left. Or he can only go right. Stuff like that. If he go left, he going back right.
Mm-hmm.
And so you give me that, I'm like, bet. And, things like that will help me win Defensive Player of the Year here. Because it's another – it took it even further for me. I'm like, oh, I can see the guy next move. And then I can see guards. I'm looking at guards like, oh, okay, this is what he like to do when he get to the goal. I know who the athletic guys are, who are the finesse guys, things like that. And that helped me be able to block shots. Like defense translated very well from high school to JUCO to here.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you got a mind for it, I don't think defense is one of them things that ain't gonna change. I feel like. Well, of course, guys are more talented, getting better, but when your mind set on it and you got a mind for it, it's not gonna change a whole lot because you'll know, like you got an instinct for it, and so it really just take you get to the next level and adjusting. Offense is something like gonna take some getting used to because now it's like guys gonna know the scout,
Yeah.
So it's different. But defense and hustle translate every time. I feel like.
I'll push back on that a little bit. I feel like it's like every person has a superpower of basketball. So if some dudes that's a bucket, like no matter what gym they walk into, they're the guys gonna get a bucket. So it don't matter if it's a bunch of high school guys, if it's um like for you for instance, if you go in the gym with at the rec, it's one thing if you're gonna translate regardless. Then you go back to school ball, okay, one thing you translate regardless. If you step into the gym with grown men, this one thing will translate regardless. If I put you on the floor, a whole bunch of pro players, this one thing gonna shine regardless. Everybody has a superpower that's just like, this is my thing. And like basically going back to your role, for you defense and rebounding, it don't matter what gym you walking to, bro. It don't matter how skilled the guys are. Oh, that dude, he can play some defense, dog. Like, oh snap. All right, let me change my game up. Any gym that Steph Curry walked into when he was a kid, oh, that's a shooter right there, bro. Like that's his superpower in basketball. Like his shooting was the thing that got him to the next level. So I feel like everybody has their thing that's a superpower, that one thing, or maybe two. Everybody ain't got two, but everybody has one thing. It's just like, no matter what court I can walk into, that's translate. And like, for teams, they say defense travels. So if you got a good defensive team, you can play in the gym. So same thing for
Thanks.
each player. You have a talent or a skill that translates to any gym that you're going to. So kind of going back to what you were saying earlier, how do you prepare for the next level? First, find your superpower. Like, what's the one thing that you're good at? Like, if you a shooter, shoot the ball. Don't show nothing else but shooting, bro. Like, I about to shoot the peel off the ball, like they say. Like, I bet not see no Wilson, no Spalding, no nothing on that ball by the time we get done with you. So find your superpower and make sure that translates very well to the next level, and figure out what that superpower takes to the next level. So you might be a good shooter, like you said, out of small rural school, and you think my 30% shooting is good, but you find out college ball, you got to be at least 35%. Now you're like, oh snap, all right. So now let me get my superpower to the next level. I think about it like when you join the Avengers or Justice League. Like, yeah, you might be good at this one thing right here, but Batman got you in this one area, Superman got you in this one area, or Iron Man got you in this one area. So we don't need this from you right here. Yeah, you can fly, but he flies faster and better, and he can carry more. Or she's better at this thing than you. So it's like you back down in this one thing, but then this one thing shines through better. Like, we don't need you to be the smartest guy in the room right now. You're not that smart compared to Bruce Banner or Iron Man right here. Yeah, you smart over there in your planet or your area, but over here, it's different over here. You feel me? So
Different
you
over here.
you was a good shooter over there at that school, but for right now, your ball handling translate. We need you to be a point guard. You can shoot a little bit. That's cute. What you did. That was cute in high school, but in college ball, you pass first point guard at this level. So you have to figure out what your superpower is and how it translates. Because if you can't figure that out and you got too much pride and ego in the way, or you just unaware, that's hard for you to transition to the next level. So I feel like everybody has a superpower, but you have to figure out what yours is. You might be good at this one thing, but this superpower translates you to the next level. So um, I feel like if players can figure that out, that'll be a easier task to figure out, to be like, yo, I can like be an Avenger and play this next level, because there's a lot of superpowers in that universe, but only a handful of them are the Avengers for a reason. Like in this group over here, like in Wakanda, you the dog over here. But Black Panther shine above all for a reason. You know what I mean? So that's my little 2 cents on that one, man. I like my analogy, so I had to throw that one in there.
No, that's valid. That's definitely valid. Like, and I'd like to bring that home for you. Like how you said, you might be good. Like you in your own show, you was good. In your own movie. Once you join the Avengers of the Justice League, now it's like, okay, we just need you to do this.
Yep.
And that's kind of how it is going to college. Because in high school, when you go to a college, everybody in high school was everybody on the college team was the man in high school. And I
Yep.
think a lot of guys get that.
Yep.
Because a lot of times when they get that scholarship in hand, they think, oh, I'm the man.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you're not the man. 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
You're a part of the puzzle. And we need you to complete the puzzle.
Yeah.
But you, at the end of the day, you're a piece of the puzzle. But like in your high school, you probably putting up 20 something, like whatever, having great games. But you come here, you give us 12, we good. 12 a night.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It don't have to be nothing crazy. So that's your superpower though. Like, hey, back here, I know at home you was Superman. You was Superman in the movie Superman.
Yep.
But when you come to Bevel State or when you come to Columbus State University, now you Superman in the Justice League. Like, yeah, you still Superman. You still have that ability.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't need, you're not the only hero no more.
Yeah.
Now you need to work within this group.
Yeah.
and make sure we operate the way we need to. You're a piece of the puzzle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
I,
so,
I think that one
go
that
for
one
it.
connects a little bit harder because it's like when you humble yourself and think about it, I'm just a piece of the puzzle. What piece do I need to be to complete this puzzle? I don't need to be the centerpiece right here. We already got a centerpiece. Which corner am I going to be in? Like you might like for you for instance, like you could have been a 20 and 10 guy in high school and you was a dog. But your superpower is you playing defense. So you had to humble yourself and be like, bro, I can't go 20 and 10. Let me go 8 and 10 and still be able to win and translate to college ball. Because if I try to get 20 and 10 in college ball, I'm not playing college ball. I'm gonna be somewhere else and somebody direct playing for fun because I'm not humble enough to be like, all right, let me go be a corner piece for this puzzle right here. I think some guys get too prideful, like we talked about before with the college levels. Like you want to be D1, but D1 has a centerpiece. We got all the centerpiece. We just need you for a corner piece right here. Whatever that's, we want you to be a shooter. We ain't ask you to be Steph Curry, be JJ Redick right here. That's all we need right here. At some point, you can develop to be Steph Curry. You can develop to be back to 20 and 10 guy. But for right now, if you want to play at this level or be on this team, we need you to be just a Flash. Flash never shined in nothing but his movies. Hawkeye, he ain't never shined nothing but his movie. That's it. That's the only time he was the guy. He had little
Facts.
pieces here and there in the movies, but overall in the Avengers movies, he's a sidekick. He's a role player.
You're a piece of the puzzle.
He's a piece of the puzzle. You feel me? So the centerpiece is gonna be Captain America and Iron Man. Every once in a while Thor. Every once in a while Hulk. But for 90% of the film, it's gonna be Captain America and Iron Man. But we still need Hawkeye. Hawkeye is very important. When we call Hawkeye, we need him to show up. Hey Hawkeye, we missing that corner piece, bro. Where you at? I got you now. I'm finna fly in out the jet. Boom, boom, boom. He took out everybody. All right, bro. We good. We needed you. Go home, bro. Like we need
Go
that.
home.
So, hey, Hawkeye did his job. He wrapped us up, so we good. So, I feel like that's the thing that connects from high school to college, and now we can transition from college to pro. Like I feel like just very similar thing. Like find your college superpower that what you had here, and transition to the next level. And I think this is more easier to see for most people because we watch you guys on TV, to where it's like, man, let's try to pick somebody for example. Zion, he's a really good example because we watched him on TV at Duke, and he was like, oh, he's a superstar. He's this and he's that. But it's a big question mark around how he could transition to the next level because, like you said, he was a 6'8", 6'9". He basically dominated college basketball off of his body, off his athleticism, because he was a super athletic. He was hands down more athletic than anybody, and he didn't score necessarily off of skill. He didn't have any mid post game. He didn't back anybody down to just footwork them and like Zebo did. He just raw athleticism. So
Facts.
we question how he translate in this league of athleticism and skill. Athletically, he would be, one of the top guys in the league, but you trying to be 6'6" and jumping over dude 7 foot. I'm 7 foot and I jump almost just as good as you do, and I got some skill behind me. So what you gonna do? So,
What you gonna do?
but I feel like there's a lot of guys like that to where it's like, oh man, I did this in college ball, so I can do this in pro ball. And I feel like a lot of people get that confused where it's like, once again, you were the centerpiece, you were Captain America and Iron Man in high school in college ball, but in pro ball, you're Hawkeye, you're Black Widow. So
That's how I be though, for real.
for real, like I ain't even
It's
trying
just,
to make jokes. Like, let's think about it. Let me look at Al Horford, right? He was one of the main guys at Florida. He is not the main guy in the NBA at all.
I'll take it a step further. Jared Dudley, first team All ACC at one point.
Yep.
First team. Like, when last time you was like, man, Jared Dudley had a good game. Like, everybody on the next level was the guy at the level just below that.
Yep.
Guys don't think about it. You JUCO, everybody that's in JUCO was the man in high school. If you in college, if you in 4-year school, everybody that's at a 4-year school that came in out of high school, they was the man. Everybody that's at 4-year school that came out of JUCO, they was the man at that JUCO. Everybody at the pro level, that whatever college they went to at that pro level, they was the man in that college level. Like, we all was the man before we got here. Like, if you a scorer, you might still be the man. Somebody got to be the man.
Yeah, yeah.
you know. But 9 times out of 10, it's only one or two of the man. There's only one or two star players most of the time. Everybody else is a piece of the puzzle. And if you want to be that guy, make sure your talent and your work ethic match being the guy you asking to be.
Mm-hmm.
But it ain't everybody. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be kind of hard for guys to accept that sometimes. Like I was a man in high school, college, I was a man. Now I'm on a pro team, or now I'm in the NBA, and I'm riding the bench. And I'm like, man, what's up with that? I want to play. Like, why am I not getting a chance? Because everybody on that team next to you was a college superstar.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember this. It's funny you brought up Zion. I remember when Zion was at Duke, they was like, can Duke beat the Cleveland Cavaliers? Because it was like, because Zion, RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish, all of them beat the current Cleveland Cavaliers. And so I remember the first comment I seen, I'm so glad I seen it. First comment I seen said, y'all realize everybody in the NBA at one point was a college star, right? Like, y'all do realize that. And I was like, I guess they don't. I guess they don't. And that's not to take away from Zion, because like I'm 100% sure Zion is better than somebody that plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers or played at that time. Yeah. I'm 100% sure RJ Barrett is probably better than one of them at the time. I'm 100% sure Cam Reddish was better than some of them at the time. But their team would never beat an NBA team. Yeah. Same way people used to be like, could Alabama beat the Cleveland Browns or the Miami Dolphins or the New York Jets? Like, it sounds good, but no, they can't. Like, everybody they playing with has played for a college and was the guy. Like, what make y'all say that? What make y'all say stuff like that? Like, bro. Like, it's one thing they said, could Columbus State beat UAB in basketball? Now we can talk about that a little bit. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna speak on whether or not we win because I play for Columbus State and I'm from Alabama, but you know what I'm saying? That's debatable. We can talk about that.
Yeah.
Don't say can Columbus State beat the Cleveland Cavaliers? Because no, we can't. I'll answer that for you right now. Now, would I go out there and play with everything I got? Yeah, me, Jared Allen, let's do it. I'm locked in. Like, I'll go out there, you feel me? I'm gonna do the best that I can.
Yeah.
But no, we gonna lose the game, bro. Like, because there's levels. And the guys on the level above us have proven that they deserve to beat us. We have not. And that's just what it is. But man, some guys don't understand.
Yeah, and we gotta apologize to the city of Cleveland. We're not trying to bash y'all, because you said the Cavaliers and you turn around and said the Browns too.
I realized that as I said it.
I was like, dang, we just said Cleveland back to back. I thought you finna say the Cavs again. I was like, dang. Oh, dang. That's even worse.
Oh, dang. Oh my God. We hit both teams.
Dang, Cleveland was kind of bad for a couple of years, but we sorry, Cleveland, if we got any fans of Cleveland. We like y'all. The Cavs good now, so you know y'all.
Yeah, but no, ain't nobody beating the Cavs now.
Exactly, man. So y'all definitely in the talks now. That done passed down to like the Rockets and stuff, man. So y'all like to clear for that. So
y'all good.
You gotta think about like this too, man. Like you look at most teams that are bad like that, man. Like they have like lottery picks from the past 2 or 3 years, dog. Like we're full of like the guys from teams in the past few years, bro. Like.
Exactly.
We on NBA standards, we suck. Like we're a terrible team. But individual collective players, we have the past. Like who was it? The Timberwolves. They done pick like 4 point guards in the same draft, bro. So we got Johnny Flynn, Ricky Rubio, whoever else they drafted. They name a point guard in the past 10 years. They drafted them, but that one draft they drafted like 3 point guards all in the first round. So we didn't got. Go through the NCAA tournament, we done picked it 3 of the top 10 point guards, bro. Like they had a chance to get Steph Curry and they passed on them. Like, so you got to think about like NBA teams are full of the top guys at each school or the top 2 or 3 guys at each school. Like we looked at the Avengers and we were like, give me Captain America, give me Iron Man, and give me Thor. That's what my team is full of now. Like
that's what my team full of.
We got Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. What's up? What you doing now?
What you trying to get into?
So it's just weird that people sit down and really fix their mouth to say that my team full of one or two like legit D guys at the next level can be the team full of those guys at the next level. So it was cute, it was cute to say Kentucky could probably
It's
beat,
funny.
it was kind of funny,
Excuse me.
you good, but it was all right for a second to say that. All right,
Go ahead.
yeah, it was kind of cool. It was kind of cute for a minute to be like, yo, can we beat this guy? Can Kentucky, when they had all those guys, can they beat them? Yeah,
They
it
were
was
saying
all
that a
right.
lot.
It was all right for a minute. Oh, we got pretty much every guy on the team is a 5-star high school recruit, and so when they had the 5 in 5 out group with Tyler
Mm,
Ulis, Trey Lyles, and that whole crew, that was
yeah.
all right. That was cool, but no, bro, like that's not working. So I think most people have a misunderstanding of how what stuff translates to each level, but I really think that from college to pro is the most misunderstood because I don't know. What would you say is the most like from high school to college or college to pro? Which one do you think people have a misunderstanding of like the translation of it? Because sometimes I
Both
feel
of them.
like, yeah, cause I can't pick because people be like, oh man, this dude he's great. He can do this, that, and the third, but like he ain't got no left hand, bro. What is he doing in college ball? He can't shoot.
Man.
What is he doing in college ball? Like you 5'6". No offense, bro. Ain't too many dudes that's 5'6". I'm 5'10", bro, and it's hard for me to get to the league. So what you think at 5'6" you finna do, bro? Like, ain't look at the NBA right now, and dudes that's my height was like AI, Nate Robinson, um,
Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas, and maybe one Earl Boykins like 5'6", 5'7". Ain't too many dudes under 6 foot really finna be in the league like that. The closest dude we had that's rocking the league was Allen Iverson. That's it. He was like 5'11", arguably 6. But they tried to push him to 6'1", but for real, he was like right under 6 foot. So even Chris Paul, he barely pushing 6. He's like 6'1" on a good day. So he's really like 6 foot 5'11". So like, let's be very realistic here, guys. Like just because he's dominating at high school ball means nothing for the next level. There's only a handful of guys that can translate. And then same thing for your situation. Just because you 6'2", power forward, you dominate in high school ball, it's not gonna work at the next level. And then same thing from college to pro. It's like, yeah, you dominated. You would have played a year. Tyler Hansbrough is a great example. What you would have played a year all this. You won championships in college, but the next level, you ain't the guy. So I really can't decide which translation is most misunderstood. But I just think people really don't understand, man.
Yeah, they definitely don't, bro. I didn't understand at one point in time either. So it's not entirely their fault. But you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you got to get there to understand. Because I thought in high school I believed that I was gonna go to a 4-year school right out the gate. I wasn't thinking about JUCO. And then close to the end of the year, all the JUCOs are calling me. So quickly realized that I was a JUCO guy.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got JUCO. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go D1 out of here. And my JUCO career had some D1s I was talking to, but only the D2s that offered. And then COVID hit and kind of made things complicated. But that's beside the point.
Mm-hmm.
But D2s had already offered. Like D1s was talking and calling, but D2s had offered. So I was like, maybe I'm a D2 guy. Because I was like, I don't want to go D1. And then like they barely wanted me.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't shoot the offer to me. You know what I'm saying? So it was gonna be like, did they really want me, or was they just trying to hold on to me in case somebody else that they wanted more had signed. So that's kind of where I was at with that. But whatever. Ended up here. So I'm happy with that. Obviously, is everything kind of happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't really never know what it takes to be on the next level until they get there. And then, there's an adjustment period and stuff, but that's how it is. So it's misconstrued on both sides, like from going to high school to college and from college to pro. Because guys think, you see it where guys be in a tournament hooping and whatever, or they'll be top guys in college, and they think they're gonna translate. I'm sorry. But we see it all the time. Like you could look at a guy that's killing the college game and know, like, he's not gonna kill on the next level. Like the stuff he's doing now work in the college system.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll never be that great on another level. We see it all the time. Like that's why Kentucky got like a NBA draft like steamroller. Like you come here, you go into the league because they play league like they prepare their guys to be in the NBA. You go play for Duke, it ain't the same. Like don't get me wrong, obviously we've seen plenty of Duke guys go to the NBA, be superstars, whatever. Kyrie Irving went to Duke. Like we talked about Grant Hill. Like Duke to produce plenty of great basketball players, but there are more players from Duke that went to Duke and then went to the league and were regular guys than stars.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't nothing wrong with that, obviously, because that's still good. They made it to the league. I'm not trying to knock that at all. But all I'm saying is we have looked at a lot of guys from Duke like, oh, he's going to be the man. J.J. Redick thought he was going to be the man. Jimmer Fredette thought he was going to be the man.
Jimmer was crazy.
Jimmer, yeah, bro. Like, we remember some guys, like guys that came into the league and was like regular guys after that. Because sometimes games don't translate. But everybody don't have an eye to recognize that. People think, oh, he good at college, especially playing at Duke. He good enough to go to the league. And he is good enough to go to the league. But he's not going to do what he did at Duke. Put that out your mind. So that's all it really is, man. It's misconstrued. It's like it's misconceptions on both sides of it. Because it's like, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you all that you have to go to find out. That's all it really is.
Yeah, like kind of like we talked about before. I think it's just the miseducation of one, what it takes to get there, and what it's actually like to get there. Because I think it's too many people speaking on those levels and about those levels that either, like you said, weren't in those shoes to get there, or didn't study how to get in those shoes and what it takes to be in those shoes. So you have people or coaches put out there, coaches and trainers who talk about this is how you get better at the game, this is how you get to college basketball, but you don't really understand college basketball enough to be speaking on how to get there, or you haven't studied the game enough to know what a point guard at college basketball does. A point guard at college basketball is not going to sit here and be Kyrie. So stop training point guards to be Kyrie, because that's not what college basketball is about. Unless you got Kyrie Irving, stop training players to be Kyrie Irving.
Right.
Like it's that simple, bro. Like I think I'm not saying you can't have a bad. I'm not saying you can go 1-on-1. I'm not saying that at all, because you need that, especially if you want to go pro. You need that. But I'm not going to sit there the whole workout and just sit here and ISO you to death and have you dribbling, 30 different combo moves. It's like, for what? Like that makes no sense. So I think we have too many coaches and trainers that try to get players to that next level without fully understanding what is at that next level. You know what I mean? So, and then parents, and I get when we start on parents and other fans and folks like that. Oh, you can play college basketball? No, bro. No. He's a 6 foot power forward. Stop it. No. You're my height, bro. You playing center. Like, come on, bro. Like,
you playing center. You just do not know, bro. Like, I've known plenty guys that was like 6'4" guarding me. I'm like, this ain't how it's supposed to be. Yeah. Like, this ain't how the Lord intended. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's sad, bro. Like, and I just wish people be more realistic on both ends. Like, I think people try to be too negative on it and say you're not gonna make it to the league because it's hard to do. It's only 2% of whatever percentage is that make it to the next level. And like, have that, but at the same time, be realistic on the other end of it and say, okay, this is the percentage and odds of it. But if you want to make it, this is what you need to develop and grow in. And I feel like we're not giving players a full, we're not giving a red pill and a blue pill. You take which one you want to be. So like, I could have set you down, or a coach could have set you down and be like, yo, Nelson, I don't think you're gonna make it because of your offense. You're limited offensively, right? So yeah, you good defense, but I don't know if you're gonna make it because you're not scoring the ball enough. And I could have showed the numbers in your face and be like, man, this, that, and the third, whatever. I don't think I'm making college ball. But then I have to be realistic and say, if you want to make it, here's the option you can take. You go train, work on your offense, do this, that, and the third, or whatever, and we can work and develop to where you show these things, and now you're developing and growing. So give players a red pill and a blue pill, and let them pick rather than shoving the blue pill in the face and be like, you ain't making it. Like what? So
Yeah, I
that
don't do
frustrates me, man. So, but my last question for you, man, is you kind of touched on it a little bit with the film thing, but what mentally do you think the difference is between high school, college, and pro? Like, what's the mental difference that separates guys at each level? And because we hear all the time how physically, how also it's more physical at this level. The speed of the game is a lot faster, and um, certain stuff just overwhelms you physically, and you're more tired. There's more games, all that stuff. The weight room conditioning, all that. We get that. What mentally, from high school to college and college to pro, separates or the differences that you see in your eyes?
Um, no, one thing I probably say is hunger. Like, there's a level of like hunger to be good, and it's different on every level. Like, you can see it. Man, I remember we had this talk about JUCO ball one time way back when, or like maybe the first episode of the podcast, and I said the thing that made JUCO special is that guys are
Mm-hmm.
everybody hungry and guys will eat your food.
Yeah.
Like, and that's facts. And in high school, the fun thing about high school is you could tell when guys have like championship aspirations. You could tell when guys have aspirations going to college. You could tell when guys just hoop for fun. You could tell when guys really love basketball. You could tell when guys just love what it do for them. Because in high school, you see guys in high school play super hard. Then you see guys that's just chilling, happy to be out here. You see guys that come in, do their job, go home. This is something they do. They on the basketball team, whatever. And then you got guys that's like this. They all like they giving everything they got.
Mm-hmm.
And so you never know what you're gonna get. And some teams have championship aspirations and jump. So then you got a team full of guys that's trying to really win. But that's rare. Like that's why certain teams have championship DNA because the whole team expects to win the championship is trying their best. So that's not all the time. We like I'm sure you've seen it. Like sometimes guys out there just chilling, sometimes guys out there giving their all. But then the college level is like, hey, we most of us love basketball because we all play. We still playing. We in college. We doing schoolwork. We want to win games. And, sometimes guys want to win. Sometimes guys want to score. Sometimes everybody might have their own goals, but we all putting work in for the most part. So like guys be hungry. Guys trying to keep their spot. Guys trying to move on. Finish their degree. Fit on trying to go pro. You got to hoop. That's just all it is. That's the bottom line. You got to hoop. So guys push themselves. Now, if you don't have no aspirations of going nowhere, then you probably won't. But if you really talking about trying to move on to another level, it's another level of hunger you got to have. Now it's like, oh, I'm trying to kill every night. I'm putting extra work in because I want to be a pro. And so that's kind of what it is. It's like the hunger to be better than I was. You watch Naruto. For my anime
Mm-hmm.
fans out there, there's an episode of Naruto. I don't know what episode number it is, but maybe I can find the clip. Maybe not, and we can put it in. But there's an episode of Naruto that I reflect on a lot, and it was about Rock Lee and his group, Neji and them. My Naruto fans know who I'm talking about. Rock Lee and them, they were fighting clones of themselves, and like it turned into a whole lesson. And basically, the lesson was be better than I was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think about that now. Like animating taught me lessons in life. It was like, the Lee was like, the only way to beat them is to be better than I was before. And then he like hit Buddy in the mouth and jump. I'm like, yeah, boy, that's what I'm talking about. Better than I was yesterday. I be thinking about that now. Like the only way to be good is to be better than I was yesterday. And like that's how like guys try to approach it. Like if I'm gonna be a pro, I gotta be better than I was in college. If I'm gonna go to college, I gotta be better than I was in high school. If I'm gonna be in high school, I gotta be better than was I in middle school. It's all like it don't matter what point you start at. If you want to go to the next level, you got to be better than you was before.
Yep.
It don't matter how good you was. I don't care if you averaged 40 wherever you was playing at. To go to the next level, you got to be better than you was yesterday. So that's just what it is, man. And like guys once you get to a certain point, guys understand that.
Yeah.
Guys like sometimes you see guys that understand it in high school, but not everybody do. You see more guys that understand it in college, but not everybody do. You're gonna see even more guys that understand it at the pro level. But even then, everybody ain't really trying to be the best they can be. Some guys are trying to make their money. But you guys gonna understand.
Mm-hmm.
But make sure you understand. Make that translate. The only way to win is to be better than I was before. So that's all it is.
Yeah. It really goes back to what we were saying before we recorded. It's like you just gotta be spectacular, bro. You gotta step up to a whole nother level where it's like, dang, I did all this in middle school. I gotta do this in high school. Step it up, bro. Like that's really all it comes down to. Just step it up. You gotta be better. Like it's. I know it's difficult. I know it's hard. I know it requires more of you, but that's what's required. Like I thought about this one day. It's like we focus so much on hard work, which I'm not saying you don't need hard work. It's very important, but like hard work is the basement level of what you need to be great at whatever. That's the minimum. That's the minimum requirement to even get your foot in the door of what you want to get to. Like you work hard. Congratulations. All of us work hard. Now what?
Literally.
Like, okay, I want to play college basketball. I'm a hard worker. Hey guys, y'all work hard. All right, I got a full team of hard workers. Now what's up? Like,
hey, facts though. Hey boy, y'all work hard. Yeah, we work hard.
thank you. What's next? Going on your resume. What else? That's all I got, Coach.
Boy.
Next. Wait, what's
Bring the next guy in.
Like hard. Like I'm not trying to clown hard work. You need that, but that's like the basement level of what you need. But that's the foundation. You're not gonna go in the house and be like, "Well, I got a foundation. I laid the cement down, ready to move in." Like what? I ain't got no walls, no ceilings, no furniture, no nothing, bro. Like all you got is a foundation set. Like you ain't got the plywood up to build up. You got the frame of the house set, bro. All you got is the foundation laid.
Boy, gonna sleep on the floor outside.
So it's like I'm not trying to clown hard work, but it's just like sometimes we get too cute where you need to work hard. Like no, it's more to it than that. Like you have to outwork yourself, but at the same time be smart about how you're working because you go out there and shoot 1,000 shots a day, but it's like you're not realizing you need to work on your ball handling too, and it's like you're not really getting better. Like it's like Rock Lee could have been like, I need to work harder than I did yesterday, but you still working on trying to work on I ain't gonna go that deep in the rabbit hole for folks, but
there you go. I was thinking about I was like,
I ain't finna go there, but like Rock Lee, he could have worked on special abilities that he could have been working on, but he would have been going nowhere fast. But he mastered his level of taijutsu, and he's just like, I gotta be a G at what I can be. My superpower is this right here. So I'm finna be a G at this and I'm finna be a gangster at this level of what I can do. So please keep working hard. I'm not saying that, but working hard will have to be stepped to another level, into another level, and into another level to get to where you want to get to. And so that's kind of what the whole base of progress, the only goal is, bro. Like you can only focus on making progress, bro. Like there is no such thing as the best. There is no such thing as the best. It's non-existent in my world. You can only be better. Like how can I get better today than I was yesterday? Excuse me. What can I do to make progress? My goal is to make progress. What can I do to make progress? Okay, boom. That's my goal for the day. So that's how I feel like we should approach, from each level. So from high school to college basketball, what can I do to make progress in this? From college to pro, how can I make progress in growing this? So I think that's probably the biggest takeaway, man. Is like, do you really have the hunger to make it at the next level? Like, really, you could really throw away the whole episode and be like, I don't care what the differences are, bro. I'm gonna make sure I outwork everybody, and I want it more than this next guy does. Because everybody, man, I guarantee you go a 5-second interview with each school in Jefferson County right now, wherever county you're at, and you ask each player at the varsity level on that varsity team, how many guys want to play college ball? Out of 12 players, I guarantee 10 of them say I want to play college ball. All right, you start interviewing. How many shots y'all took? How many times you lifted? How many times you ran? How many times you watched film? Them hands start going down real quick. There's a reason why. There's a reason why so many guys make it to the next level. So a lot of guys can even meeting the minimum requirements of working hard. That's just the truth. A lot of guys ain't even meeting that. So that's the foundation to get in. A lot of people ain't even meeting that foundation of requirements. So I think that's the biggest takeaway, man. If you really want it, you're gonna figure out to go get it. There's times where I thought I wanted it, I ain't really want it for real, man. Like in business and stuff, I say I want it, but then it's like, I ain't did that in like months, bro. Let me figure out what else I want. So I just feel like if you really want it, you can buy a to throw away the whole episode, bro. If you really want it, you'll figure out a way to go get it. I don't care. Like I was saying, you 5'6", and you'll figure out a way to make it work. There's a dude right now in college basketball killing it, and he like 5'5", 5'6". He figured out how to make it work. This dude with one arm right now killing the high school. He figuring out how to make it work. So at the end of the day, man, if you really hungry and you want it, be like Rock Lee, be like Naruto, and just outwork everybody, man. If y'all don't get that reference, then go watch Naruto and you'll understand. All right. So that's it, man. That's the key takeaway from this whole episode. So y'all, if y'all watch this whole episode, y'all got a whole gem that most folks won't get, man. So that's a nice little Easter surprise for you guys, man. So but that's it, man. Anything else you want to leave with the people with?
No, man, just be better than you were yesterday. Like Rod Lee said, I gotta really try to find that clip now, so people can understand the context of it. But be better than you were before, man. And like I'm a prime example of that because every year I play basketball, I've gotten a good bit better every year, and I take pride in that because that means that the work isn't paying off. The work is is showing. So, and people see it now. Numbers going up, stats going up, prices going up. So that's how it is. But man, that does it for another episode of the BeBall Jones podcast, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Y'all be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let us know what you think. Tell us what you think the differences is on every level. Comment and let me know how to get rid of the hiccups because it'll be greatly appreciated. But yeah, man. Let us know what y'all think about our definitions and about our viewpoints on the levels of basketball and the differences and how games translate. Let us know. And if you have any questions for us, let us know that too, because we big on helping guys get to the next level. So be sure to follow Brian on all social media at BeBall Jones. That's BeBall Jones on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also follow Brian on TikTok at BeBall Jones as well. Be sure to follow me at NellyH34 on Twitter, at Nelson.Haskins on IG, and it's just Nelson Haskins on Facebook. It's like it's getting worse. Man, it's all right, almost there. But Nelson Haskins on Facebook. Be sure to follow the podcast on TikTok, also at BeBall Jones Podcast. We got a couple videos up already, so go check them out for us and like those up and then follow the podcast TikTok. But that's it for us, man. We hope y'all enjoyed it. Be sure to tune in next week for another episode. Let me get the outro out. Be sure to tune in next week for another great episode of the BeBall Jones podcast, man. Once again, we appreciate y'all for listening, and we out.